decided to experiment with this diamond glaze adhesive to make invisible lumps underneath the clouds. And you can see it hasn't dried yet, but once it's all in the resin, it won't matter because the resin will be clear and stuff. But I wanted these clouds to stay lifted and 3D-ish, even though I'm going to lay them flat into this pour area. So we'll see how that works out, but I strategically put in, again, some of this diamond glaze dimensional adhesive to maybe preserve some of the 3D aesthetic I want for the picture. We will see how that goes. If it doesn't go well, oh well, I'm just experimenting, but I wanted the clouds to just kind of seem to pop out, even though it's laying in this flat space inside the resin. After I poured the initial clear resin, I added in, before it could dry, some swirls of like white, just kind of a pearlescent white. So in the front of the picture, there will be like this pearlescent, well, this is my vision, it'll be like a pearlescent arrangement of clouds. And I think this is pretty clear in this video, but you can kind of see this. So I'm hoping the way that lays on top of the picture, it will create like a natural-ish swirl of clouds, like an overlay of clouds, but hopefully nothing too opaque to obstruct the work and all the clouds and stuff behind it. But this is just like the very front layer, and right behind this, once it dries in about 6 hours, or I want it to get it tacky-ish, dryish in about 6 hours, then I'll pour another layer and I will go ahead and stick her on there. And pretty much I use this is what I cut out, like the extra that was pretty much in there. Oops, I scratched that. Let me fire that up after I stop recording. But pretty much this is the cutout of the original that I have over here. So let's see my cute little puppy. But pretty much, yeah, you get the gist. I have now sat her in face down in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer. I've waited about 6 hours. I'm gonna add another layer of resin, and hopefully I will be able to see the 3D dimension I tried to add in with the clouds. I don't know if I can lift this up. Please, Lord, don't let this go wrong. But like you can see from the front, like the dimension of the clouds, hopefully it's popping from the 3D adhesive I put in there. So let me add another layer, the next layer, and see how that goes. I think it's coming along well so far. Okay, I think you can see the little thing. I'm trying to keep it flat because it's still drying, but so far so good. I'll have to wait for it to dry more and get a better picture of it, but yeah. I did this portion of the video to document it, and also so I can see it, because there's no other way I can look underneath without tipping it over on my face. That would be bad. I still need to take a torch to it to get rid of some air bubbles. Like I see one I see a lot actually, if you see all these air bubbles right here, but this is the next layer, and I have to wait another 6 hours for this to set just enough. And then I'm going to pour another one. The reason why I'm doing it every 6 hours or so is because I don't want to have to sand and wipe it down. And you would have to sand and wipe it down in between layers, because if it's not tacky, like you wait longer than that 4 to 6 hours-ish time frame, then there's no tooth, for lack of a better word maybe, to like kind of grab on from one layer to grab on the other, and eventually they'll kind of like peel apart, or they could peel apart. So I don't want that to happen. However that would look in this setup. So I'll be back in about another 6 hours or so to pour the next layer, which will be, well, after I torch this layer to get the air bubbles out. The next layer will be like a light blue, because I want like the far background to like reflect in like a blue sky. Here goes the next pour. I did the best I could to get out the major air bubbles, and that's just type of process that is ongoing. I spent probably the last hour or so waiting for air bubbles to come up and then torching them out. So for the most part, I got all the air bubbles, I believe, and I believe I have another 5 hours or so to wait before I can get back to stirring up another batch and then pouring it over the back. And as I mentioned previously, I want to do like a transparent-ish blue resin tinted layer next. I went ahead and added this pendant that we got from Betty. I don't even know if you can see the pendant in this lighting because it's backlit by the light above, but added this pendant in the corner of it because I want to make sure, you know, it's all together. All my friends know I have a habit of losing things, but I think that's a good place to put it, in that corner right there. And it's a pendant. It's a similar picture to the one that is put in charcoal for this actual portrait. But yeah, I think it classes up the joint too. The clouds are pretty much coming out the way I wanted. Make sure I get this in the shot. So the ones in the background are showing through, but looking like they're wispy and in the distance. Well, at least that's what I'm telling myself. So this is coming out pretty well, and I'm still waiting for it to dry. I need to wait another 4 hours or so, but this is where we are at the moment. I decided to fill in the back with more blue, and this is how it looks. It pretty much did cover the clouds, and you can see a few things peeking through. I think it adds nice random cloudy details to the back, and so now I'll just be on bubble duty as usual. But I like the way it turned out, and I'm gonna check out the front to see how this looks in the background behind Eva. The big reveal, and I would say I like how it turns out. That's the amount of blue I believe I wanted. Let me dim my screen. Here we are, and I think I'm quite content with where it stands right now and the amount of blue reflecting through. So let me just let the final layer continue to dry up,